Hello and welcome to this edition of Time with Hime. I am joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. How you doing?
Doing good, as well as can be expected. A lot going on at Lawton Public Schools. Obviously, everyone who watches the news know there's a lot going on in the world as we speak.
That's right, and we've got a lot going on, and we want to update our families about what we've done in the last week. A lot of things have changed, and a lot of things have been shared with our families. So let's get started and talk about our virtual schools.
Well, as we've done our online enrollment and check-in and started having our families and our parents tell us their preference, we've had to restructure a little bit. We had a couple sites in the elementary that the check-in was really low as far as the number of traditional students. So that was Washington and Adams. Now, we have no intentions of using that close the school word because we're not discussing closing a school. As a matter of fact, we're going to take the traditional students at those two sites and allow them choices. We've actually offered transportation to two neighboring sites or free transfer to any other site in the district. So they can go to any site they want in the district. We will provide transportation to two they can choose, such as Washington. We will provide transportation to Whittier or Lincoln for those parents. Then we're going to take those buildings and say, oh, man, those buildings are empty. No, we have so many virtual teachers. We're going to house our pre-K, K1 and 2 virtual teachers as a team in Washington. So, we're going to have 8 daytime virtual teachers because we have 200 virtual daytime students. So people understand we're trying to keep our student to teacher ratio for virtual at 20 to 25 to 1 as well, and we're not putting 100 kids for one virtual. So those 8 teachers will be in one building at one site working together and planning lessons and delivering content delivery virtually. So we're really thinking it's going to make our virtual awesome. We're excited about the awesome teachers going to be doing it, but they'll be doing it from one site. So if you live next to Adams, you're going to think, no, they're moving the kids. No, that school will not be closed. There will be teachers in that building every day. As a matter of fact, it'll be full of teachers. And the day this COVID virus is over, people have heard me use the term, if a solar storm hits and it goes away, when that happens, we will bring those students back in as usual. As a matter of fact, the principals are staying with their buildings, and they'll be the principals of those virtual sites. I believe the librarians are staying with their building, the custodians, one of the secretaries. So we're going to keep a lot of people at home. I think at Washington, about half, maybe more of those teachers have even chosen to be virtual teachers, so they're going to stay right there in the building as virtual teachers. So there's going to be changes with students, but as we know, a lot of our students are choosing different options. This option will allow us to have a super strong virtual program.
And just to clarify for our families, Washington is pre-K through 2.
Yes.
And Adams is 3 through 5.
And that is that's for the teachers to be housed. We're going to have a librarian there, so they're going to be working on ways to virtually have a librarian. They may even set up times for students who are high risk to come by themselves when no one else is in the building to check out books. So we're going to do a lot of things that we'll be adapting and, again, being flexible to try to make this the best we can. In no means, form, or fashion is what Lawton Public Schools delivering virtual in 2021 going to match what anybody else has ever done virtually. We are teaming teachers together. We're building lessons. We have large groups of teachers putting these lessons together, this content. I made a challenge. There's 200 first graders, daytime virtual, plus another 50 or 60 at Freedom, plus another 40 or 50 at night. We have almost 300 first grade parents who have chosen virtual. It's a challenge. Can you teach a kid or a student, can we teach a student to read virtually? And our teachers are stepping up and saying, you put us in this situation, you give us the resources and give us that ability, and we're going to get this done. And I'm really excited because right now I say Lawton Public Schools is not only going to do it, but they're going to do it better than anyone's ever done it before.
And we know that we're going to keep our Freedom staff when they're virtual. That's why I think it's important. We did send out a flyer about our virtual tech pickup this week, and we want families to know why those schools are the only schools listed. So we had
Yes.
Adams and Washington and Freedom, and all the Freedom virtual students will still go back to.
Just because of the uniqueness of Freedom, we've kind of let Freedom be their, again, they're an entity with 1,400 students. They have enough of their local virtual to handle their own virtual. They have more than one principal on site. They have more than one librarian, more than one PE. They have the ability to create themselves. We're going to work on ways to partner, because obviously if we're building these great virtual lessons for first graders at Washington, the Freedom teachers need to be part of that constructing of those lessons and that working to deliver that content. So although Freedom is separate as far as pick up and how your students are, and the Freedom teachers will keep the Freedom students as much as possible, it's still going to be part of Lawton Public Schools. We're still going to share as we grow and become this, improve our facilities and faculties, and so we're all going to get better at it.
That's right. And our flyer, just to clarify for our families, make sure you call the two schools for, Washington and Adams, and then if you're a Freedom parent, call Freedom. The other schools that are not pickup sites, it's because we need you to call those schools themselves. So you wouldn't call your neighborhood school, you would call the two virtual schools.
If you are a virtual student, you would call the virtual site, which makes it fairly simple because of the grade side. If you're a traditional student, then again, you'll do that on your regular. And our goal is, again, that every traditional student will have their own personal device, because of the COVID, we don't want to share. Because it'll be safer if I'm sharing devices is a way where, we share germs. If we keep our device, plus, a lot of people, COVID or no COVID, they really don't like 5 other people typing on the same keyboard or using the same touch screen as they use. So I think our students are going to like that better, as well as our parents.
And our secondaries are all going to pick up at their neighborhood schools. The ones that would go
yes.
to.
Even though we're doing some similar things with secondary, because again, when we start talking about how the secondary virtual looks and how we take those teachers and allow them to be housed together where they can collaborate, because virtual teachers collaborating with virtual teachers is something we have a strong goal of. So, we're working on developing sites like you might hear rumors that the high school teachers will be housed out of Douglas. Well, there's 5 or 6 rooms at Douglas because the special services moved to Brockland that we could house the virtual teachers together and create a whole wing of just high school virtual teachers. And they can work together to deliver those lessons. Although there's an algebra teacher and an English teacher, guess what? They're teaching the same student. So all of your virtual teachers will be in that one pod or that one wing of Douglas, if you're a high school student. If you're middle school, we're looking at Brockland and finding a space there to carve out where those teachers will be. Now, that's not all that important to parents because they're going to be contacting virtually. But what our hope is, by the teachers being in the same area, that collaboration will build our efficacy or build our capacity or make us better at our trade. We can challenge each other. We're working together. And again, it goes back to virtual teachers being around virtual teachers should improve our skill set more so than a virtual teacher being around traditional teachers. So again, it's a challenge we have taken, and I just commend our staff and our people that are part of it, because one of the challenges when this started, we talked about in our leadership, in our district level meetings, was if we're going to do this, we're going to be the best at it. We are absolutely going to be the best at it. I have told people this. I've seen what we're doing. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're listening, there are parents out there that are thinking of all these different virtual options and all these choices they have as a parent. I'm telling you, enroll in Lawton Virtual and do it for 2 or 3 weeks or a month. If you don't like it, change your enrollment. But I'm going to tell you, once you get enrolled and see the powerful lessons and the resources we're going to provide you as a parent, in the collaboration you're going to get, in the one-on-one parent relationships, with parent-teacher relationships you're going to get, because nobody that does virtual has a 20-to-1 ratio where the teachers only have 20 students. And I'm just challenging you as a parent to take advantage of what we're doing, because if you do, I don't think you'll ever give it up, because it's going to be, if you choose virtual. I would still say traditional and face-to-face learning is still my choice, but we're going to make our virtual learning very close to that face-to-face learning.
And I'm excited that we're talking about the traditional and virtual, because we're getting ready. Next week is school time as far as orientation, meet and greet teachers, and I know our traditional teachers are working.
It's there, isn't it? It's amazing, but you think about it, it's been 6 months since spring break. 6 months they've been out of school. I think people are excited to get back to school in different forms and fashion. One reason why we're flexible, because we really believe if we can, as a district, as a community, we can continue to control the COVID and the virus in our numbers, we'll have more parents start moving back to traditional. And again, that's one thing we're doing with our virtual. When you choose us, rolling back in should be seamless, easy, no loss of instruction. You should move right in. If you choose somebody else, you're going to be no telling where you'll be if you decide to come back traditional. Now, again, we will always take our students back traditional. That's just who we are. We know it's our job to educate the students of Lawton. But yeah, we're excited. Our teachers are in. We've had new teacher in service this week. Boot camps, putting together these lessons. Our principals are going. You know, it's one thing we talked about. We put our teachers through boot camp like, hey, pre-K, K1 and 2, you're going to get Seesaw. Your little, Seesaw's new. But we made our principals go through a day of Seesaw too so they could understand it. So, and made's a kind of a strong word. We brought them in. They were excited to do it. We don't want to make it like our principals didn't want to do it. I'm telling you, the gold in the mud puddle of this COVID virus is we are working together, in my opinion, better than I've ever seen us work together. And it's, as a district, as a state, people are pulling the rope in the same direction. We're all trying to do what we can to keep our students safe and give them a quality education at the same time.
And we did share some videos with our families regarding our operations, child nutrition, and transportation. So we're hoping that helps you, and we continue to move forward with giving you guys what you need so that you understand our processes. What is it that you're most excited about as we get ready to start, Mr. Hime?
Well, obviously athletics have got going. We've got softball going, volleyball going. I don't know if you've seen it, but man, the new middle school, drive by that. Is that not awesome?
It's beautiful.
Has anybody seen MacArthur's girls got a new softball fence? Tomlinson's about to get one. They're working on one right across the street at Lawton right now. Parking lot at the bus barn. Hey, drive by Ridgecrest. They were the first winner of our makeover. You've heard us talk about it. Hey, Ridgecrest, it's going to be sharp when they get finished with it. Go by and look. Tennis courts are getting a makeover.
Yes, they are. I saw them the other day.
Hey, I was with Dr. James the other day, and we saw something. Man, I hadn't seen a picture of that. What's Lynn doing? And Dr. James is like, well, we got this, and this building's doing this, and there's only a few of them. I said, yeah, but they can get everywhere. It's like, we try
really hard.
They can only be one place at one time. But again, isn't it exciting that there's so much that you're having a hard time getting pictures of everything, and instead of this one thing, easy. So, we're keeping your team stretched because we got so much going on. So let's not forget that although we're in these hard times, hey, we're moving forward fast and doing a lot of great things. And again, this is an exciting time for Lawton Public Schools. It's exciting for me. I hope people can feel the energy and how excited I am to be a part of this team, and how blessed I am to work with some of these people, and how privileged. It's been amazing for me so far. And again, I'm going to work hard to make sure our students and teachers and staff are safe. Again, this is a difficult time for us, but we're going to try to do everything we can to maximize our safety.
Is there anything that we want to let our parents know to look out for? I know you mentioned athletics, and our virtual students and traditional can still participate in things like that.
Yeah, and we're talking about extracurricular. I'm the old football coach. I coached football for years, and I was always a coach, and I can't carry a tune, and there's no instrument I can play one note on. So sometimes when I'm talking, I leave those things out. But I'm going to tell you, those things are just as important as athletics. I was a football coach for years, and I moved to a small school that didn't have a band. And how much did I miss? I used to think the band was a nuisance for the football coach. A lot of them will tell you they're just in the way. They're killing your grass. They're marching on your practice field.
We have an amazing band.
After you do that, you love your band. It's kind of like I learned so fast, and I love the band. I love to go to band. I've been to band marching contests since then, just because watching bands march, it has become special to me. Same way with music groups. And ROTC here is big, and I've been in a school that had ROTC, and how amazing some of the things they do. First VOAG, drama. We got all kinds of extracurriculars, and I'm sure I left something out, but cheerleading, cheerleaders are great, and I know they're going full-fledged. So we got people, everything's going on. We're going to try to keep it as normal as we can. There's going to be some bumps. It's just part of it. Hey, this is new for all of us. I don't think, none of us claim to be an expert. We'll write it together. And I guess the one thing I really want to reinforce to parents, keep us informed. you're driving our decisions. We're not driving our own. We're making our decisions based off what we're hearing from our parents. You know, what do they want? What do they need? How are we staffing based upon how you want your, how's that mix look going to be? So just keep us informed. Keep emailing info@lawtonps.org. Keep sending those emails, and we appreciate you. And we just want you to know we're here for you.
And there's a lot of information that goes out, and that's the other thing. We want families to hear it from us. If they're not sure, call us, email us, and we're going to get you the answers you need. So, Mr. Hime, thank you for your time. Our time
thank
is
you.
about up, and I appreciate all that you're doing. I'm excited for our families to return. Next week, we have check-in, pickup, so a lot of it is happening. Stay tuned and keep up with our social media website, and we are sending notifications now. Check your emails. Other than that, anything I'm missing?
Nope. If you're getting too many notifications, let us know, and we'll clean that up a little bit. New year, new notification system. There'll be a glitch here and there. If you happen to be one of those, please let us know as nice as you can, and we'll get that cleaned up so you're not getting the third ring of notifications at 1 o'clock in the morning. We hope that's not happening, but if it is, we will fix it. Just can't fix it if we don't know.
That's right, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate our time from our families and our staff, and until next time, we will see you then.
Thank you.
Bye.